Well, we need to check it out and make sure my head's not bigger than yours. Or yours.
Your head's bigger than mine.
Come on in, everybody. Like and share, subscribe if you would. Hello, David Garcia, Lisa Lee, Forrest Stutzman. Yeah, brain damage. David Jones, how are you doing? How's your foot? I started to say we got to answer that one. The weather today was perfect.
That corridor out of Alaska.
Yeah.
Chilled us down just enough. It was beautiful. It's 76 degrees this morning. Warmed up a little bit.
Yeah.
Colder tomorrow. But I understand the heat's coming back this weekend.
Uh-oh. The heat's going to come back with a vengeance. That's the way it does. And, man, but what a beautiful day it was today. It started out kind of cloudy.
Been dry as hell.
Yeah, it has. Yeah, it has. Good evening, Texas bikers and bikers all across the nation. Welcome to Texas Biker Radio. What number is it? It's number 484 is what it is.
480 something.
Yeah, 484 is what it is. It's clicking on off, OG. We're going to be to 500 pretty soon, and then, I don't know, we'll do something, maybe have a giveaway or something. How about that? That's what we ought to do.
Yeah, we can give away a support shirt.
Yeah, that's cool.
As long as you're not bigger than 2XL.
Yeah.
Or any smaller than large.
There you go.
Because our inventory is getting a little low. We have been getting some orders for those support shirts. I've been shipping them all over the United States.
That's cool, man. That's cool. If you, I should have had a picture up here. We could show it to you, but you know that's not our number one deal. Is to sell them a T-shirt.
No.
But
just sent 2 to Alabama.
Alabama.
Yep. Well,
and let me say this. If you want to see what they look like, you can go to the TexasBikerRadio.org website and go to the store.
My mic is on now.
Well, you know what happens? When I forget to do that, it bleeds through your mic and it just sounds like an echo. It's what it does. But tonight, everybody, first of all, we want to talk about our event on October 3rd in Milam County, Texas. October 3rd, 1 p.m. Milam County, Texas, which is the county seat of Cameron, Texas. That's the city it's in. 107 West Main. And we're inviting you to come along. You can either ride with us from here in Arlington, or you can meet us there. If you live closer to Milam County, ride on over and see us at 1 o'clock in front of the courthouse. And there we'll be seeking redress for a 24-year Army combat veteran, a Purple Heart, 2 Bronze Stars, other meritorious awards. And you know, the sad thing about this is they've been giving him a 3-year ride through the court system there. And you know what? He's not guilty of the charges against him, and they know it in that courtroom, in Judge Young's courtroom.
Just don't like him because he's a biker.
That's right. happens to be a member of a motorcycle club, and after his 24 years of service, he can be in any damn motorcycle club he wants to be, because there are none of them that are banned from existing, no matter which one they are. Not in this country. So join us, everybody. We need your support. If you live here in Central Texas, or East Texas, or West Texas, or North Texas, or South Texas, if you feel the urge to come, do it. And we're going to have speakers there to tell you what it's all about. But OG, the new granddad as he is, won't be here.
I'll be in Utah.
What did they name that kid?
Quillen.
Quillen.
They both have Celtic backgrounds.
Okay.
So they came up with the name Quillen. It's Quillen Patrick.
Okay. Cool.
So I guess it'll be Quill.
Quill. That's pretty cool, man. It really is.
His road name is Late.
There you go. Okay, let's start off with tonight's topic that I put in the promo there, or in the description of the show, which is vilification. And I wanted to show you, we know all about vilification. How did I get that thing over here? We know all about it. And I'm going to show you a picture here. You recognize that, OG?
Oh, yes. That is the famous picture that was in, I think it was Life magazine.
Life magazine.
And let's see, what the hell was the name of the town?
Hollister.
Hollister,
Yeah.
California.
Don't ask me how in the hell I remembered that.
Man, that picture was posed.
Yes, it was. Let me show you here. See all the beer bottles and stuff?
All arranged
Yeah,
by the journalist.
yeah. Every bit of it.
Yeah.
Maybe that was some of the first fake news, but I doubt it.
As a matter of fact, I believe that the idiot sitting on that motorcycle doesn't even belong to that motorcycle.
But I think they did mention the name of the person that posed there. Resident Eddie Davenport. He repositioned the empty beer bottles.
Now, what biker would line up empty beer bottles like that?
I don't know.
That's-
They'd be swigging on them.
That's your first clue that something is amiss.
Yeah. So anyway, that was the, I guess you'd say the birth of the outlaw biker clubs, when they embraced the term that was used in that Life magazine article. Am I right there?
You are right. It was a quote from the American Motorcycle Association, basically in retaliation for the group that set up that rally in Hollister.
And I do believe they had a race, right?
Yep. The AMA was pissed because it was not one of their sanctioned events, and they referred to events like that as outlaw events. And their reference was that 99% of the motorcycle community were law-abiding citizens.
Yeah.
And they left it at that. Now, it was Sonny Barger and a few others of the guys jumped on that because they said, hey, we got to be the 1%. We're outlaws. So they went out and had some 1% diamonds made and put them on their cut. And that's how it got started.
That is how it got started. And they've been vilifying bikers ever since. Ever since. Anything that happens, all of a sudden they're out there vilifying the hell out of us, carrying on about us, and true or not, whatever it is they bring up, and most of the time they add to it. They make it worse than it is. And you know, it just goes on, and it's been going on since 1947. But let me tell you what has happened, OG, and this is my point to all this. They have made vilification an art. Between politicians, the media, government entities, you know, FBI, law enforcement, you know, the list runs on and on, is when either something happens or they want to put out a narrative, what they do is they go out and they vilify the other side. They've made it an art form. And what you see going on today, it's in every aspect of government. And probably 90% of it, there's not a bit of truth to any of it. Any of it. We see what we see going on today, the vilification of this group, that group, this group of people, that group of people. It just runs on and on and on. I mean, Trump supporters, they just vilify the hell out of him, vilify the hell out of them, vilify the hell out of him and anyone that supports him. But yet, we've been having that going on in our community for decades. For decades. And like in Milam County, you know, we always say they may not convict him, but they're going to give him a hell of a ride in the news media and elsewhere, just like happened in Waco. I mean, the media latched on to that and just went wild with it.
Yeah, they went nuts until they started to figure out something was not right.
Exactly.
And I couldn't believe that they actually turned the corner, because that is so unlike the media.
Yeah.
The media usually likes to hype the negative, and they're basically the puppets of ATF, the FBI, and local law enforcement. They like to print what they're told to print. They want to keep them happy so they can get those exclusives.
Yeah. This is what they do, everybody. And you know, even when, oh my gosh, when we have clubs that they may have a big rally, and you know, it's one of their big fundraisers of the year. And if law enforcement gets wind of it, if they don't like a particular club, or a particular club, any of them that has been vilified for decades, you know, the law enforcement, especially our DPS here in Texas, runs to that whatever city that's going to be in or near, even near, and runs to the city sheriff, the news media, and everyone else, starts saying, hey, you got so-and-so club coming here, but don't worry, we're here to protect you, trying to scare the hell out of everybody.
Well, if you'll remember, Waco happened in May.
Yes.
Usually toy runs start in late October, November, definitely December. Well, the local clubs down in Waco tried to get up their annual toy run.
Yes.
Just before Christmas, and law enforcement shut it down.
Yes,
would
they
not
did.
allow a toy run. Pretty despicable.
Yes, it is. And you know, that continues in some places to this day. They have events that law enforcement or some city fathers or something decide that oh hell, we don't want you here, even though you're going to come and spend a lot of money or raise a lot of money for charity. But that doesn't get talked about that much unless it's absolutely huge. And there's not a club that's leading it. Just my opinion, because it's my opinion based on what we see here. That's what I'm talking about. But the vilification, like I said, is now gone to all heights. I mean, it's just they're politicians, the media, the law enforcement entities. I mean, just look at it. They vilify white people. They vilify a political party. They vilify Asians. This has all happened in the last 4 years, 5 years. You know, it just ends on and on. I mean, it's insanity. And now they even vilify the whole country, OG. America's evil. I promise you, America is the most generous country in the world. We're passing out money to everybody. We're passing out money we don't have.
We even left a pallet or two in Afghanistan.
That's right. So we're supposed to be evil people. People from the South are evil. I mean, the list runs on and on. I'm sure you can name hundreds more. Hundreds. We even had Antifa, a bunch of white kids, vilifying white people. Vilifying themselves. It's incredible. This is what we have going on today. And you know, the politicians and their propaganda machines are the worst of all. Yeah. We'll be talking about that in a minute, Lisa Lee.
Well,
You know,
yeah.
I had to think for a minute. Oh, gee, how do I shift away from this? But go ahead, make your comment.
Well, the shift can be the part that media plays and the puppet that they are to the powers that are trying to control the country.
Mm-hmm.
And the powers run all the way from the ATF, FBI, law enforcement, to the political party that is now in control of this country.
Yeah.
And it's kind of both amusing and amazing to watch how they try to play to keep our eye off the ball.
That's exactly right.
Lisa brought up this thing about this poor girl that was murdered in Wyoming, the young couple that have been on the news for well over a week now, 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I mean, every day, every newscast, that's all you hear about. Now, you know, I'm just as heartbroken as anyone else, and I would like to have a little personal time with her boyfriend myself. However, if you think about it, how many hundreds of people are currently missing in the United States? Just disappeared.
Children.
You know, children. Lots of people have disappeared, but she meets the criteria to melt your heart.
Yeah.
Small, slender, attractive blonde. The all-American couple out touring the country, and it goes bad. Now, they keep that in the news in hopes that the public will now forget about Afghanistan and how that all went about the children that were murdered in that missile strike, and it was supposed to be the ISIS characters. The Arizona audit results are due on the 24th.
There you go, everybody.
Who Who has heard anything about that other than maybe tonight?
Yeah.
You know, so you all need to be listening on the 24th if they put anything out there.
They're going to try to cover it
Yeah.
up.
So, you know, you've got all this other, and all these illegals coming across the border. I refuse to use the term immigrant. They are not immigrants. An immigrant is a person that comes into this country legally through the quota system to become a citizen. Those are illegal aliens. That's precisely what they are. And even to that extent, if you think about, you know, instead of talking about the hundreds of thousands that are coming across the border and this flaming idiot that we have for a president that is demanding that everybody in the country be immunized except for the illegals pouring across the border that are being transported by our government to cities internal to the United States. Unvaccinated, sicker than hell. So rather than talk about the hundreds of thousands and what's going to be millions by the end of the year, we are now concentrating on 12 to 15,000 Haitians and other illegals living under some fricking bridge. Okay?
Let me show them this next shot right here. You see that there? That's all the Haitians underneath that bridge, and you see their little lean-tos or huts they built out of the vegetation around there. There is now, they claim they got 6,000 out of there in short order, where they're deporting them. But let me say this, everybody. They're deporting mostly men.
That's right. Women and children are staying.
Women and children, guess what's going to happen with that? They're going to be released into the country. We're going to take care of them. We're going to take care of them. We're going to give them food, shelter, money, medical care. We're going to give them everything. And guess what's going to happen? You ever heard of train migration? Mm-hmm. All the family members, come on in, everybody. Come on up. We're getting free shit. Come on up.
This is just the beginning of the avalanche.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. And they're not even talking about how many people are in the pipeline coming this way. And what they want to do now is spread them around. They want to get them the hell out of Del Rio, if they can, on into the country, and for those that I guess are unlucky, they're going to catch a flight back home, wherever that is. Because many of these people came out of South America, not Haiti.
Well, we're not even real sure that a lot of these flights have taken place. Biden's serving a lot of lip service about that. His answer to Abbott, when Abbott applied for federal funding to help pay for some of the expenses that were being incurred by these crossings, some of Biden's statement was the fact that he was going to enforce the exportation of the Haitians, but it comes to light that the only ones that are being sent back are the young bucks.
Yeah. Yeah.
The women and children are staying behind. The Border Patrol has already talked about the fact that most of the illegals are going to be given appear dates, dates to appear in court, and just summarily released into the public.
That's what's going to happen.
I'll tell you, the Hispanic communities in Texas are upset as hell because their communities are being just frickin' destroyed.
Overrun.
Overrun.
Not to mention oh, gee, it was 105 degrees in Del Rio yesterday.
It's too damn bad it wasn't 120.
I know. And it probably wasn't much better than that
And
today.
I wanna know,
doubt this front got down that far.
where the hell are all the rattlesnakes and copperheads?
It's unsafe, and of course, Mayorkas, the guy that's in charge of it all, our border security, he said everything is going according to plan. Everything is going according to plan. Let me tell you, and you've heard me say, what's going on at the border and everywhere else, all the chaos that there is across this nation is the plan. It is the plan because they're trying to destroy this country. They're trying to collapse it. Everything they're doing is headed that direction. Everything.
Well, you know, not only that, the White House has blatantly told the Supreme Court to kiss their ass.
Yes, they have.
Which only goes to show, and we've talked about it in the past, if the Supreme Court says no, 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 how the hell are they going to enforce it?
They can't enforce it.
Biden could give a crap.
They have no law enforcement entity that will enforce it. And that's
right.
the reason I said to, I was announcing out there that our governor needs to grow a pair and just say, hey, we're not going to comply.
Yeah.
We're not going to do it.
The hell with that injunction. We stop the buses.
If the president and his minions don't have to obey the law or the Constitution, why in the hell should we?
Precisely.
And you know, there are people that are ready to take up arms here. There really are. I don't know that we're there or not, but I mean, I don't see how we last 14 more months of this. And if these states can't get their elections in order, that's the truth of it. Forget about California. Forget about that crap out there that went on. The challenger to that governor had a snowball's chance because of the system that's built out there. And it's just mind-boggling. Let me show you one other thing, OG. This is incredible. Hey, look. If you're from Texas, don't go to New York and act like a frickin' idiot. Like a frickin' idiot. Let me show you this, see if I can get it to work. We'll have to turn our sounds here.
To a brawl with a hostess over vaccine passports. They claim the Asian American hostess made racist remarks. The tourists were charged with assault and criminal mischief. Surveillance video appears to show them confronting the hostess after they were asked to leave. Okay, I'll start with you, Dana. The claim of racism by the three women who were ultimately arrested wasn't made until the next day.
Right.
They didn't say it to the manager. They didn't say it to the police when they responded. And yet,
it's not on video.
It's not on. Well, they say that it's not on the video.
Well, you
That's
see,
right.
like you can see that in the surveillance video there
Right.
from up above, and the managers of the restaurant, obviously very sensitive to this kind of accusation, are adamant that that did not happen, and I'm sure meaning that they have witnesses there. One of the things that's terrible for small businesses is that they already have a situation where they can't find workers. And you have the Job Creators Network has this huge lawsuit against the administration about the mandate, but they're talking about small businesses. And it's not because they're against vaccines. It's the fact that it's so hard for small businesses to find workers already. You imagine if you're a young woman and you're thinking of getting your start in New York City and you're going to take a job as a hostess, is this worth it? Because they're the ones that are on the front line. That's the first person that you see when you walk into the restaurant. It's not a security guard. Right. And one of the things you have with the government is all of these government agencies have workarounds so that they don't have to necessarily get the vaccine. So all of these perks go to government agencies, not to small businesses, and people are really starting to notice. We knew that this was going to happen. We predicted it.
I have the prediction right here, but
okay.
I'm not going to. Go ahead.
No, I'm good.
All right,
Like,
Greg, you go.
that would happen.
All right. Some smart guy on a show said this like a month ago. Yeah, 2 points here. Can you imagine the spectacle of a black family going to a restaurant full of white people? Ooh. They're told they have to sit outside. So you got quite a visual for the winter, right? Wow. White people in, black people out. That's not going to go well, which leads to the next question. What's missing? The COVID cops. Is there a force that's going to be going around enforcing this stuff? Now, this is not the restaurant's fault. If you are a pissed off protester, protest the people who created the rules, not the poor souls that are forced to enforce them, who have to stand out there and take the abuse. No hostess or restaurant manager wants to get in the middle of a racial conflict, especially if it's ginned up and it involves then protests. The videos, from what we could tell, there were aggressors. The tourists were the aggressors, but we can't hear anything. But we knew this was coming.
Yeah, we knew it was coming, and hang on, hold on 1 second. I want to add that. We knew that it was coming, and it appears.
Yeah, I like what he said, and everybody needs to think about that. It's easy to get pissed off.
Yeah,
when
it
you
is.
go somewhere and they insist that you wear a mask, or they're going to ask for proof for your vaccination. I mean, it's real easy to just turn around and leave. The point here is we shouldn't be shooting the messenger. We need to be protesting to the dumbasses that are trying to enforce this bullshit and force it onto the citizens and private businesses.
But since the BLM has been called in, and their chance to go after some white people or Asians or the restaurant or just anything to stir up some crap.
Yep.
And I would say to the 3 Texas gals, what the hell are you doing in New York anyway? Because I wouldn't go there as long as they have those kind of draconian mandates. And let me tell you, OG, I'm dying to talk to some bikie out of Australia.
Yeah.
So we can see how they're dealing with the draconian measures they've got going on there. I'm searching for that guy. Send me an email, gunbarreltx@gmail.com.
Well, I heard something very interesting on the radio the other morning. And it was from our liberty-loving Latino. What's his name?
His name is... I'll think of it at
yeah.
midnight.
Anyway, he always refers to himself as a liberty-loving Latino. He's got...
Salcedo is his last name.
Salcedo. Yeah, Salcedo. He's got a spot on Newsmax. He's on 820 here in the morning. He's chatting, and it's, the closest I ever heard a commentator come to advocating violence there was a guy up in Minnesota that used to talk about maybe it's time for pitchforks and torches, for the villagers to get pissed off and come out with the pitchforks and torches. That's the closest I'd ever heard. However, Chris Salcedo is talking on his broadcast about giving up freedom. And his approach to this was, if you give up freedom, well, your freedoms to your local government or your federal government, you're never going to get them back. They're not going to hand them back to you. You're going to have to fight for them.
Exactly.
And he further stated, he can't think of any time in history in any country where the people started giving up their rights and the government, in their benevolence, came back eventually and said, we're going to restore everything to the way it was.
Yeah.
Here's all your rights back. You can do this, you can do that. The point he was making was, maybe it's time. Now, he's saying, is it time right now? I don't know for sure. But he is convinced the only way we're going to get all those freedoms back is if we fight for them.
Yes.
And he's not talking about verbal fighting. He's not talking about pounding a keyboard. He's talking about aggressively going after this crap. And, we keep talking about be civilly disobedient.
Yes.
The hell with them. It's kind of like in the military. You're not supposed to be convicted of not following an unlawful order. And if orders are being given out there against the Constitution or against our inalienable rights, we shouldn't be complying.
Exactly.
The hell with them. I kind of felt bad for this old gal in the grocery store the other morning that approached my wife and attempted to chastise her for not wearing a mask.
Yeah.
You don't do that to Amy.
Yeah. You shouldn't do that here in Texas at all.
You never know.
Because the chances are you're going to get an earful. That chance is really high. But let me state one thing. This guy was testifying today, this Mayorkas. He is such a liar among a sea of liars in this administration. And Biden today, and I couldn't take too much of that, everybody. Biden gets up there and says, hey, we're open to work with anybody. After what happened in Afghanistan and what they did to the French, who the hell is going to work with us besides the despots of the world, like the Taliban? Because we surely seem to have a willingness to work with them. And let me say this, OG. General Milley's fascination with the Chinese runs a long ways back. It goes back to 2015 and beyond.
Oh, here we go.
Where he's made all kinds of comments, where he talks about them not as our enemy, but as our competitors. And I do believe I've heard that out of Joe Biden's mouth. So look for that, everybody. They're now going to be our competitors, our friendly competitors. They brought us the China virus, who we do not know if it was released on purpose. And there's a good chance that they did release that. That would be the first attack. The first. And I do believe right now the doctors are saying, do not put that damn mask on your children. It's not needed. They're going to survive. Their rate is real low, and especially kids under 5.
In most cases, they're healthier than anyone else.
Exactly. So the instructions out there and the mandates and stuff that's causing things like just happened in New York City is driving everybody nuts, which it's designed to do. Remember, I told you that George Soros said, when you cause chaos and you cause fear, people will do things that are not necessarily good for themselves. And that has been made obvious. Look who's in charge of our country. And there is no law enforcement entity, no military group that I know of that's willing to do a damn thing about it, even though they're violating the Constitution, even though they're doing things that are totally against the law, and there's nobody to enforce it. Nobody. Even though they have the power to do it. And I do think here in this state, we have the power to put a grand jury together and convict Joe Biden over the border issue alone. Just my opinion. If he comes here, arrest his ass.
It's my opinion, it's time for Abbott to call up the state militia and have them head for the border.
Now we're going to be, after October 3rd, we got to have our rally first. There where that 24-year combat veteran, decorated veteran, is being given the ride. We've got to seek redress, straighten that mess out, and then we'll move on to the next thing. And that's going to be a dilly. That's going to be a dilly. Popeye and OG have been invited to the border. And we're going to go. Among other things we've got planned, and it does have to do with the governor's race. And yeah, we don't like what we see so far. And the news media, the propaganda machines, they're now out there vilifying the Border Patrol agents and I guess DPS officers that are on the horses that were maybe shooing some of these people back across the border. They want to make sure that our agents aren't doing anything that they shouldn't be doing. They're not worried about the illegal people crossing the border, but they're worried about our agents. This is mind-boggling, everybody. It's mind-boggling, but you know it's going on. You know it's wrong. Don't accept it. Don't accept it. Who knows? Maybe we should invite the whole state down there. Give Del Rio a hand. That's what I'm saying, everybody. Give them a freaking hand instead of just mouthing about it. Give us a hand. Subscribe, everybody. Got anything you want to close with?
Yeah, I'd like to thank everybody that sent us a donation.
Yes.
This last week. It has helped. We still need more. You know, anytime anybody can send us the price of a beer, we appreciate it. This rally that we're getting up and the newspaper ads, hell, even paying for the internet to get on YouTube and
targeting.
Yeah,
we pay to
targeting on Facebook.
Certain areas.
Those funds do not come from our club.
No, they don't.
It comes from Texas Biker Radio in the account we have set up. But our heartfelt thanks to those that have sent in so far. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, we do. We do. It does cost to do these things. Like they say, nothing's free. And but you know what? We'll do it regardless. That's the truth of it.
Yep, we have been.
Money or no money, we're going to do it. So that's life here in the fast lane, OG. We've been there many times, and we've never been denied our right to seek redress, and we've done many of these. Done many of them. Join us, everybody. October 3rd,
October
1
3rd.
p.m., Milam County Courthouse, Cameron, Texas. Until next time, see you later, everybody. If you don't have a motorcycle, buy one. Come ride with us, everybody.
And be safe.
That's right. One more thing. That was a saying through the weekend. One more thing. If you're riding through Texas, give us a buzz. We'll go have a beer and a burger.
Always.
Bye-bye.
Bye.